La, 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 la. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to DGU PODCAST. This is episode 18. 18, right?
Yes.
18. And today we have a guest on the show, Chris Metcalf.
How's it going, guys?
Did I say it right?
Yeah. Metcalf.
Okay, so one thing, your last name, I thought it was Metcalf. And I always get it's like a tongue twister. I swear to God, it's a tongue
I always get Metcalf. Like it's like the cough. Like the A, it's like they pronounce the A. I'm like, no. It's a A. Like, dude,
there's
no W afterwards.
So after we met out in the desert, I was trying to find your name, and all I knew was your last name. So I typed it into Instagram, and I did Metcalf. Swear to God. And I was like, why can't I find this guy? I swear to God, that's how it was spelled. And hell no, it wasn't.
I get a lot of, I'm related to Supercross racer Brett Metcalf with the E at the end of it. It's spelled the same, but with an E at the end of there.
See,
so.
that's definitely.
And I was thinking about the football player. I was watching the Packers Seahawks. Big old Metcalf. I'm like, dude, you got the fucking Seahawks wide receiver? Beast. And I was like, oh.
Wait, didn't I send you his handle though?
Huh?
Didn't I send you his handle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know you're not gonna get a fucking Seahawks wide receiver on the fucking.
Oh shit!
Hey, you never know,
dude.
You never know.
With me, you fucking never know. I swear to God, I'll talk to anybody. I don't give a shit.
Yes.
For real.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Football fans?
No.
Yeah, Packer fan.
My man.
Yeah.
I'm a hockey fan. I'm a Kings fan.
Yes,
but,
sir.
I still love, just the competitive and aggressiveness with sports and stuff.
Yeah,
Football's like a good set. I still love football and stuff. But Packers are. I take the team right
That's
there.
Right. All day, baby.
Dude,
you just can't hate. There's not people you can't hate on the Packers.
Dude, Roger.
Unless you're a Steeler fan and we whoop their ass. But
yeah.
Sorry. It's all right. Sorry, Steelers.
They've always been true and proven right there.
Dude, there's no
never call us as cheaters or anything,
Wait, for the Kings?
No, as the Packers.
Oh shit, y'all
they're not out there getting
they're worse than I am. Y'all are worse than me. Fuck.
We're getting sidetracked.
Because y'all are going to no. Y'all went to football, then y'all went to ice hockey, then y'all went back to football, and I was still ice hockey.
Athlete. We were talking about motorcycles and went right into sports.
Hey,
right into sports.
I'm absolutely with you, 100%. I just got fucking side. I was still on one. I'm like our viewers. I thought y'all were talking about this, and then y'all are already 5 topics ahead of me.
He's listening to us. You know what? Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, fuck me,
Bring
right?
us back. Bring us back.
God damn it! I don't even know. One thing I want to let our audience know, you guys, our viewers, is that if you haven't noticed already, DGUpodcast.com is live and it is up and running fully. We will be coming out, actually it's already in the works of an app that is going to be a site to app. And so all of you that have been asking us everything about our YouTube or the YouTube videos, where to find us, Spotify, how do you spell the podcast name? I don't know how much simpler it can get, honest to God. DGU Podcast. Honest to fucking God. That's very, very, very simple.
Relax,
if you can spell, you can find it.
Yeah! We keep it simple for stupid. So what are we going to do? So the fact is, at the end of the day, we're allowing ourselves to make it easier for you guys to be able to find us even more. And there's not just podcast stuff in there, but there's also a lot of fitness shit in there too, and merchandise. So all that's coming. But yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
no, seriously, I'm really excited. I'm really happy that you accepted the invite.
Yeah,
I really
appreciate you guys.
Seriously, because I don't know. I love having guests on. I love whenever we have a guest on because you get a different perspective of life from other people. We have our perspective, and then having mixing it's like mixing Skittles in the bag. You get a new flavor. And it's
you never know.
Let's do this shit.
You know what you're gonna grab that.
Dude, you never fucking know. It could be a Sour Patch Kid. It could be a Kit Kat. You don't fucking know. That's called my variety mix.
So fuck. All right.
I think they have a mixed Skittle bag.
Halloween bag or something.
Shit. You know what I wish? Speaking of Halloween bag, I wish.
Dude, I got him off topic.
No, I wish that they had a like. You know how like okay, so like Reese's and Kit Kat, and you have to tear open the package, the little package.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that they made something that's like everything is just all in one, to where you just grab and fucking take it.
You know they do that now, right? They do like the you know how they did like the Reese's Pieces, a little like Skittle, like chocolate.
Okay, yeah.
You grab them like that. They did the miniature like small ones where they have that bag. And you have little miniature ones, like little Twix, little.
Okay, I know the mini ones. The
Can't
one
get the big ass one.
Yeah, but I'm talking about having a fucking
like a full candy size bar, just a mixture bag.
Yeah.
Hit them up, Twix.
Yeah.
Well, all right. There's either
Hershey's.
a chocolate type person or there's a sweet type person. You know, like they like
but
sour.
You have both. You have the best of both worlds.
I think a combination of those two. You know, like a Hershey's and then like a Sour Patch Kids combination.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Bag.
Yeah, like a split bag with different chocolates and like different sweets over here, dude.
You just
that would be a good mixture bag
right this
there
down.
Because
I mean, I'm not even joking.
how many times when you go and say ask for candy, either they want chocolate or they want sour. It's one or the other.
That's how my sweetheart is too.
See?
Swear to God.
But I'm a variety.
It's usually
guy
opposite like that. You're usually the chocolate guy or the chocolate girl, or the girl likes the sweets or the chocolate.
I'm the sweets in the family for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
But I like the variety. Like I want a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like even with our food, combination of everything, and
I would
little
definitely
desserts.
call myself the same for sure.
Because like I see chocolate and lemon cake, I'm like I just want a little piece of everything. Because I want a little piece of it. I want to try them all. What the fuck? I don't want to just like either this or this. I'm like nah. I want all little bits. Fucking give it to me.
I'm the dude.
I would samples than the whole thing.
You rather what?
Little samples than the whole
thing.
thing.
Exactly. Like fucking go to Costco.
Right.
Wait, samples? What do you mean?
Of just little candy.
Yeah.
Well, we on candy still?
Yeah. I'm saying. Shit. No. Like samples of candy being like a little sample bag or like.
If we had a variety, I'd rather have a variety of candy out.
Okay.
Than one selection.
Got you. Okay, I got you now. I got you. Yeah, I follow now.
Keep it simple.
I follow.
Keep it simple.
Man, fuck y'all.
Yeah, we have to keep it straight.
Yeah, seriously. Apparently, I'm the one. I guess I should have smoked today. I don't fucking know.
Oh shit. Yeah, he did.
Sparks. So, candy is amazing. It is part of my life. Do y'all know what hypoglycemia is? I think you do.
No.
You don't know what
I've heard of it.
That's what
I couldn't tell you exactly.
That's what I am.
You need sugar.
It's whenever your body needs sugar. So when you're hyperglycemic, that's whenever sugar really you're really sensitive to sugar, and you can have more than enough.
It's not diabetes, though, right? Like
No.
I was going to make sure you don't need your sugar levels down low.
Hypoglycemic is whenever you actually need the sugar, because whenever your body, like for me, for example, my body burns like a freight train. So whenever my blood sugar goes down, it just actually happened about a week or two ago. I went to the grocery store on my way back to the office, from the office to here, and I stopped by the grocery store, and I started getting weak. Do
you start to sweat a lot? Like when that happens?
No, I don't sweat. I really don't sweat too much. I have to overly exert myself to actually sweat or be out.
So what do you mean by your body starts burning up?
No, it doesn't start burning up. It starts burning the sugars.
Up inside.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's internal. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'll start going weak. And I'll have every pretty much characteristic of a drunk person. So I'll get my thoughts will get confused. My voice will start to go slurring. Like whenever I was drunk on my birthday, it's basically just like that. Actually, I can't support myself.
I think you need alcohol. I think that's what it is. Because you know what sugar is.
Hell no.
Right?
Hell no.
Like, when people
calories
go cold turkey, they need sugar because
fuck that.
The alcohol.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just take some glucose tablets or some.
Drinking? Huh? Did you quit drinking?
I never
started.
I never started, yeah.
I make them drink.
Yeah.
Because
I swear you drink a little bit out in the desert.
Never.
No.
Give them a drink and no fucking wide, those legs are right open. Trust me, I've seen it.
I don't drink like beer. I think it tastes like shit. I actually had my first beer with this one and my sweetheart and his sweetheart too.
I'll take it.
Yeah, like that was my first beer ever in my life. Was a few weekends ago.
A little lemon, a little
a little bit. I fucking poured like this, like about the entire bottle.
That's right there.
First beer, huh?
I like Corona and lime. If you had your first bear, Corona and lime is not a bad way to go.
Well, no, but you're leaving it out though. I had tahini in there though, and a fuck ton of it though. I like,
and like he killed it. He destroyed the fucking beer.
Blew it up, huh?
Yeah.
No, it was like a tahini. It was like a tahini drink.
Pretty much he fucking did. This guy's a drinker. Fine right here.
No, that was legit my first beer ever. That was legitimately my first beer ever.
That was it. Did you?
No.
You still didn't like it?
No. It made it more bearable to drink.
I could see you as like a wine drinker though.
No.
Or like
not even a wine drinker. No.
Not it.
Wow.
I'll do tequila.
Do you like the taste, or do you not like?
I don't like it. I don't
what
like
it does to you.
I don't like the taste.
See, that's why you started drinking early, so you like the taste just goes away.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Because I'm a huge whiskey kind of like.
Yeah, me too.
I love whiskey.
Whiskey ginger ale is my shit.
Wait, does whiskey? Because I know some people say that whiskey makes them violent. Does it make you violent?
No.
Not the other person. It's not the.
No, I think it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I mean, I've seen people get violent off it, but I've also seen them get violent off of beer, you know? So, I mean, a combination of everything,
seriously.
Or feisty people out there, so,
dude, yeah, hell no.
No, it doesn't make me too, I mean, it made me angry and stuff, and obviously you got confrontation everywhere.
Yeah.
And like we talked about it before, it's how you're feeling before you start drinking. Like, if you're mad and you drink, you're going to get more mad.
You're going to get more mad.
Yeah. If you're sad, you're usually to cry all fucking
even if somebody makes you angry out and you're having a great time with people, most of the time you're going to deconfuse or, you know.
So basically, essentially, it would almost be like taking Molly. Like, if you go into it with a negative mindset, then you're going to have a bad trip.
Yeah, it's like the person the first time smoking weed or something, and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to get paranoid. Something's going to happen to me. And you smoke. You're going to get paranoid. Because whatever your thought process is will fucking...
I've never actually gone through that, though. I hear about it, but like I've never personally experienced that.
You're open to trying it.
Paranoid off smoking?
Okay. Yeah.
Smoking actually affects me differently though, because most people get like more tired or like more artistic like you do and stuff. I get like super awake and like more active and like want to go out and do a lot of things and stuff. Whereas in like you met Ari.
Yes.
Very quiet. Like, so like, when we're going to the desert.
Something's wrong with him.
Yeah. No, he's not. Dude, no, not couch potato at all.
No.
He fishes, he dirt bikes, like, he does not even like watching TV and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he's very quiet when he smokes. Like, he gets that.
He gets in his own head kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
he listens to everything, whereas in, like, I talk. I get, just looking at everything. Yeah. And we'll be driving out to the desert. And he's listening to me, I know, for like an hour and a half while I'm talking all the way through,
And he's just sitting there.
And he's listening, but like we've known each other long enough, but it's just funny because I've always noticed that between us, that like I'm the talkative one after smoking, and he's over there like listening, absorbing, laughing at the jokes that are going on as I'm like, Megan.
Ari, so Ari is interesting as well because the times that I've been around you guys and in specifics him, like I feel like I'm being judged in some way, form, or fashion because he's silent, and I'm not used to silent people because I'm like you, like I'm very talkative, like
you don't shut up.
Yeah.
Just kidding, bro. No, I'm also. I mean, I like to talk, especially when I'm around people. It's like I'm social, like.
That's what. Whenever you and I first met, that's what stood out to me is the fact that you and I are a lot alike. That's when I found that out because you can be the life of the party as well, or you can get everything jump started and then remove yourself from the situation real quick and then come back in. Hey, and then it's
I like being that person though. That gets it all ready.
Yeah.
That's halfway through and everybody's already going. You can come back in. And enjoy the rest of it.
That's what he and I will do is shit, we'll have something going and then go outside, smoke real quick, come back inside, and like everybody's like we just hop into the conversation.
Love it.
It's good.
So what? No, go for it.
I was gonna say, but that's kind of how the desert people are out there, like
silent?
All of our group out there, they're a little more quiet and
See, like, but Rick isn't.
Rick's not. That's why I love Rick.
Rick's not quiet.
So
Kenny
how
actually is
how
quiet.
do you guys know each other, first of all?
Interesting. So
You're at the floor.
so I met Ari I've grown up with, the guy that I've been talking about, one of my best friends, and he invited me a couple of years back to go out to the hills out in Beaumont and stuff. So I met Rick, which is a bunch of guys we go out, jumping and stuff with. And so we were out at the desert about a couple weekends ago, and he knows Rick, so he invited Damian out, and Damian came out to the desert, and we all met up out there and stuff. So basically, all grouped up there at the campsite. So.
It was actually I made a video. Did you see the video?
Yeah, the one we were we did the circle with the drone. Yeah, that was cool.
So that weekend, I heard Rick said that y'all were going out to the desert, and I like any chance of opportunity that I can get to go out there. I'm like, okay, I want to try to go out there, and oh my god. Sparky's got a boner.
No, he's got a massive boner.
What is that?
He doesn't know what to do.
Sparky, it's okay.
He's so heated, like, I need it bad.
Yeah.
Is that dog neuter?
Yeah, he is.
Poor fucking
Oh my god.
Sparky, it's okay, Bubba.
No,
No, but like,
Oh my god, dude.
I could have stopped. I'm like, dude, are you serious right now? That little boy right there, that boy.
Is your dog a girl?
No, they're both boys. Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright, boy. It's alright.
No, whenever Rick told me that y'all were going out to the desert, I had no idea who the fuck was going to be out there at all, and I was like, okay, I'm really excited for this because, I love to any chance that I get, I like to go out there and like rip up the desert, and especially I don't like to ride alone, and it's, as you know, it's dangerous as shit if you go out there alone just by yourself.
Especially how these guys ride, man.
Well, like not even just that, but if you just go out on your own, dude, like anything can happen.
I don't do any hobby or sports alone.
Yeah, and
I do a lot
like
of hobbies.
like see, like even snowboarding, like that, doing that alone, like if you break your ankles or something, like. It's going to be hard to fly people down because a lot of people have their earphones in and they're not giving a fuck.
Or even end up in tree wells, like down.
Yeah.
Face first. That's like,
imagine?
I've never had that happen before, but
dude, people. That's like
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, I was telling you, number one way to get found dead after the winter. People go in the tree wells, and sink in there, and then after everything thaws out, they come find you.
That's fucking so crazy.
How many people do you think die a year from that? Like every season.
I know a few get found on every mountain, at least maybe one or two sometimes. Mammoth had one, I think 2 the year before that. It's not uncommon. It's the number one way to die on a mountain.
Winter
So
more than
it's
avalanches.
10 a year?
Yeah. I wouldn't say on a mountain or per mountain though, throughout all the
Yeah. About 10 a year.
Yeah.
That sucks though. That's a terrible way to die. You get hurt, lost in the tree.
Yeah, and you just freeze.
You just fucking
either suffocate or freeze.
You better have a bone at least, man.
Sometimes that shit won't even work because sometimes it gets too cold.
Or too up in the mountains and stuff.
Yeah, or that too. And even with tech stuff, the internals of the phone can actually freeze up. Just like whenever your phone gets overheated. Yeah, the same thing, just opposite concept of the internals whenever it's cold. The internals are made to heat up and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes the heat does not overcompensate for the cold, like how cold it is outside. And especially if you have a backpack on and you're insulated basically like a cooler, then that shit's gonna die off. Have you been up and tried to be on your phone and it lags, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the same shit. And to where it literally goes to the point that it I've had this happen before, that it freezes your screen. You're moving, you can see
literally?
it move. Yeah,
lithium is it doesn't do good in heat, it doesn't do good in cold.
Yeah, extreme cold or extreme heat, no.
Have you seen a Prius in really cold weather?
No.
It doesn't move.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never seen it before.
The batteries are too cold.
Yeah,
no
they don't move.
shit.
A Tesla,
they
all about these Teslas and everything, but I want to see one move in Alaska. I'm interested because
I don't think they sell them.
Have you seen one tested up there? It's always in Southern California.
That is very true.
Because most lithium batteries don't do well in cold weather. They freeze up, and that's why you never see I've seen the trucks, the Tesla truck coming out, and they're all about off-roading and stuff, but I'm interested on how it's going to do in very cold weather. And
well, especially with the air ride too.
Yeah.
The air ride, that's the reason why I don't have air ride on my truck. I was literally going to get it,
What's
and air ride is like having airbags, and you have a remote that can raise it up
Like
or
suspension.
decompress
It's
it.
better for like towing and stuff because then you can adjust. Like, let's say you
Like
have
a low rider.
let's say you have a 10,000-pound load behind you. You know, I can adjust my bags to that weight so it goes balanced more out. So when I'm going down the road, it's not bouncing up and down.
But see, like I was going to do that, and then I was talking with my brother-in-law, and he brought up a really massively good point. He says, if you go over into the mountain of Big Bear, then and it's really cold, and let's say that you leave your truck there overnight, and it has a shit ton of snow. Well, it doesn't really matter how great, like let's say Cali suspension or Carly suspension. Yeah, Carly suspension. Doesn't matter how great they make their lining, that the cold will shrink it, shrink the material, and actually bust it, because that's what, whenever something gets really cold, it's easier to bust.
Yes.
And that concept, I thought to myself, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a really good fucking point. Well, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that shit.
I don't think about that.
I didn't think about it either. My brother-in-law told me about it, and I was like,
shrinks, expands,
yeah. And I didn't think about that at all.
That, it gets more weak.
Or like a tire does, whenever it's got some fucking, like whenever it has the air bubble on the side, that same shit can happen on the air ride suspension. And that air ride suspension, depending on which one you go with, it's fucking expensive, like stupid expensive for no fucking there's a reason, but whatever. Like, it's stupid though. That's the reason why I didn't go with it.
So how does a Tesla or the lithium batteries like freeze on like a super hot weather like Arizona or something?
Fine.
It does fine.
Fine.
Doesn't overheat and shit like that.
Which I assume that they've taken that into consideration. I assume that they have, but I know like Toyotas have had problems in the past.
Their first generation Teslas.
But I have not seen a Tesla actually tested in the snow or anything. That's not like actually, sub-zero snow, 15 degrees.
Yeah, like being in Germany or something.
Yeah, I mean, Tahoe and stuff can get up there into those weathers.
Oh,
but
really?
Mammoth gets that cold on days, but it's not as prominent, in the areas. But I'm just curious how they're going to do up there.
Dude, like, that's actually a really good point. But even the first generation Teslas, I remember they were having blowing up, the batteries were blowing up.
Catching on fire?
Yeah.
The cars?
Yeah.
That was an issue for Tesla.
Did you know about that one?
I believe it.
Dude, that shit was fucking gnarly.
There's a few lawsuits on that one.
That was seriously fucking gnarly though, for like in my eyes, because whenever I heard about that, like just heard about it, I was like, dude, like this is some crazy shit. Like Tesla, I don't know how long they're gonna fucking last. And then they go ahead and kind of reinvent how everything's gonna go, and it's like they made it better, which, as we all know, with time, things are supposed to get better.
Yeah, they're probably supposed to get better.
Yeah, always. And
that's what they do with phones. You gotta get a better version every time, so people keep buying them.
Yeah, seriously. And even to a point of that, I mean, iPhones are coming out with every 6 months, literally starting this year, every 6 months, they're coming out with a brand new iPhone and using new tech.
It's good marketing.
But it's just marketing tactics. I don't think anything has been new on that iPhone in the last year and a half.
Sometimes better.
Android is better. I will admit that. It surpasses iPhones by like 3 years.
I don't want to say
years.
Android. I want to say Samsung's a lot.
Okay.
Shitty Androids.
But that's the problem. I feel that a lot of iPhones.
They use those. I'm like,
misconcept is that they always think of all the Androids as a whole.
I do.
And I will 100%, and I will admit, 98% of Androids suck.
Really?
Horribly. But compared to like the ones that are good, there's no comparison to the ones that are good compared to the best iPhone you can buy on the market right now.
See, but with the iPhones in general, like speaking of like how tech is supposed to better over time, is that starting this year, it's all over the internet and everything, is that Apple is wanting to partner up with a tech company that has a brand new technology that this company owns their patents, and obviously Apple, being that this company has the patents, they can't infringe on those patents. So they're going to give an acquisition fee to them, to this small company, in order to use that technology for the Apple iPhones once everything really takes off.
So what I see a problem in that is that it's no longer Apple's product. And
Apple
that's
knows-
what
but
made
see, that's the
Apple
thing.
great and stuff, is that
Apple doesn't own any of their shit, though. Or, well, they own it, but at first, they always do this type of thing, is that they use someone else's, they pay them, and then they go ahead and buy them out.
which makes sense, because did you know that 90% of all the internals of an iPhone is actually made by Samsung?
No, I did not, but I did know that Apple...
Their fans, their screens, and their cameras are all made by Samsung.
But see...
And because Samsung owns the curve technology...
Yes! I was just about to say that. Yeah, because the folding...
The only way to get that is through Samsung. So they have to go through them.
The new fold phone?
Yeah,
it's just like all their technology. Like all the new phones have some type of a curved angle, even if it's the edge or the.
Well, like the whole button thing, the Samsung was the first one without no button.
And the way that they wrap around the cameras on the front now is because of those wraparound screens now.
See, I had this phone for literally like 48 hours.
Oh, I broke my note recently, so I had to go back to this one.
So I returned it, and got that phone actually.
Okay, I will admit this on iPhones though. They are great as far as connectivity, like, you know, between your laptop, your phone, your iPad. It's great to connect all the way through, but what I don't like about it is the control that Apple has on their users, that there's no creativity that you can do with your technology on those type of platforms.
Very limited.
Very, very limited compared to anything else out there right now.
In what way though?
I can customize apps that I could put on there and beta test on my phone right off the bat and not do on Apple.
That's just about like an actual app though?
No, that's just a small little sliver of what you can do as far as like creativity. I just think that there's a lot more open accessibility through Androids than there is iPhones, because everything has to go through Apple's licensing. Yeah. So if I want to see how an app works, I have to pay for all the processing, or, you know, all the things to go through Apple to get it done before I can even just see how it works. Yeah. And as a consumer, or, you know, or a person that's making these products, I want to beta test it. Yeah. I want to see what's out there and stuff. But most people, or most apps that are made, and the reason, you know, they have the money to make it, they make it for Apple because most people are generated towards that.
It's funny that you say this, because that's exactly how I'm doing my app as well. Is that for the car industry? I'll have to say it like that, so I don't want anybody to get some wise ideas. So yeah, dude, it's almost done. So I'm like,
nobody getting crazy.
Yeah, for real, nobody getting some fucking crazy eyes. So that's the one thing that I will say about Android specifically, is that with Android apps, you can do the beta test like you're talking about. You can do, you can test everything out on your phone without it actually going live. And then you go ahead and publish it to where it goes live to everybody. But then after that, it's literally a copy paste platform to Apple. And then, because once you beta test everything on the Android platform, then that's when you know, as long as everything checks out, then you pay the $100 for the to be on the Apple platform. That's what it costs. And then you go ahead and copy paste everything onto that platform, and you have an entire app.
Yeah, it's like Apple's a monopoly. Yeah, you just take your money as an idealist. You just take your ideas and make it their own.
Well, not really, because that's just giving you the rights to be on the platform and being able to have it out to the masses. They're not stealing anything. Yeah. All you're doing is paying for the processing of
licensing on there.
Exactly, to be on their platform. But everything goes to your account. So let's say you have an app that's like $1.99 or 99 cents. Then everything, all the monies, you just pay that $100 to Apple. Apple doesn't collect anything. They don't collect shit from you. They collect the $100, but then all the other shit, like the 99 cents per download, you get. And that's the same thing with Android as well. Anything that goes through the app goes to you as well. So 99 cents plus your processing fees, if you have any through the actual app itself, plus the merchandising fees that you have through it. All of that goes to you.
Yeah.
And all you do is pay that $100. Because, I mean, $100, basically, if it was 99 cents, that's 100 people. So they have basically 100 people consolidated into one person. So one person paying $100 times that by, let's say, like 135 million of that $100, it's like $135 billion.
It's like one of those things. Do you want a show pony or do you want a workhorse?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the workhorse.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. And it's like, it's fucking crazy though, because for me, even before creating all of this shit, like even for DGU podcast and for my other deal, I didn't fucking know what the hell I was doing. I just like said, all right, let's do it and figure it out, and like figure it out as we go. And that's exactly to the T of what I've done, which is pretty honestly nuts.
That's life.
No, it is life. Thank you.
You can only take one step at a time, you know?
But see, that's what we've talked about on past episodes.
Like,
Dude,
we talked about that.
Yeah,
we talked
shit.
about
We can talk about that right now.
Yeah, for real.
Hours on that.
So what do you? Okay, well we have that. So as long as you have it, but like, how do you feel about that entire situation about getting rich quick?
I think a lot of people fantasize through their social medias more than their actual lives are going on. A lot of people post pictures of stuff from like a trip they took 6 months ago and are still acting like they're still out there doing the same things, you know, which I think affects a lot of, you know, the mentality of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're seeing people doing well, which strives other people to do well though too, you know. If you see other people, you want to be also doing as just good as them, or if not better.
Right.
And that's what people follow celebrities, because they're like, I want to be this one day. I want to go to travel and not just have this recurring income and stuff like that.
What I think people don't see though is the cost and management behind all that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to be able to stay that or keep that livelihood for the next 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I'm 40, I want to be able to still go on vacations and you know, travel, or just, you know, go to the desert like we do, you know, and stuff like that. It gets more harder as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just 7-10 years ago, the economy wasn't making much money, and a lot of our families weren't doing well out there.
Yeah,
you know?
11 years ago.
Now that everybody is doing well, all they see is, you know...
Yeah, the recession we hit. No,
that's gone. Everybody forgot about that real quick.
Seriously.
But it can happen real quick again overnight, and being in real estate, we know those things, you know. So I think a lot of people aren't disciplined as much as they used to be.
They
aren't.
Okay.
They aren't as disciplined as they used to be, and you know, we're getting back to that livelihood of everyone going out and buying stuff on credit again. And,
yeah.
You know, and it's weird because we're not seeing as bad as like when the economy went down or things like that, you know, but. People need to keep up with their best friend that just went and bought a house out there, you know. And if their friend bought a house out there, now I need a house. And then, or if they got a razor, I need a razor, you know. And I don't need just their razor they got. I need the pro edition.
Well, honey, this girl got
I need 2 turbos in this bitch. fucking single turbo.
And that's the other thing, you know, you got the wives having kids, and they, you know, now they have to have kids. And I want to be able to have kids and have them, you know, play with each other at the same time, but sometimes you're not all at the same mentality right there. You know?
That's true. No, I'm absolutely with you. So for obviously nobody here really knows who you are. So what is your background, or what are your backgrounds?
Yeah,
to be able to
give me your resume.
No. You want to know? All right. So, I grew up on an ostrich ranch, actually.
Oh, nice.
What the fuck?
Yeah, my family raised ostriches.
An ostrich ranch.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Where the hell do they have that?
On Ortega, up there. That's what grew up on the 74. So I grew up on a 40-acre ranch up there.
Beautiful.
And we moved out here when I was like 4 or 5, I want to say. And till about 18, we raised ostriches. I mean, it was the farmers actually came over from New Zealand and Australia and influenced all these cattle herders over here that ostrich was better than cattle. And it really is. It tastes like filet mignon. It has like 0 fat in it. It is amazing meat.
Ostrich?
Amazing. It tastes exactly like steak.
What?
It's so bomb.
I've never heard of this before.
Dude, people make like ostrich boots and shit. Ostrich boots.
No, the leather.
Oh.
Dude, that leather is fucking dope.
And that's what, so they're very delicate birds, so we were only able to transport them very short distances. So we had the butcher house in Temecula, and that shut down, so we had to move them up to Modesto. But by the time we got them up there, half of them would die. You know, so then we started using them as leather.
And they're dangerous, bro. They'll kill you.
Dude, they put my dad in the hospital twice.
Dude, they'll fuck you up.
Broke 3 broken ribs, knocked out in the head.
You know how fast an ostrich runs?
Yeah,
5 miles.
Yeah, I literally was about to say that.
Crazy speed.
Little kids, we used to be like, run in there and get the eggs because we'd have to incubate them and see how
big
fast.
are the eggs? Like this.
Dude, they could feed like a 20, I think it's like a 22%.
That's fucking.
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Dude.
They're
That's
gnarly eggs, like
crazy.
seriously, an egg's like that big.
That
And
is
they're
fucking
big, like-
nuts.
When we first got them, they weren't as bad, but like they're birds, so they start becoming hurt, like they hurt, you know, so they start becoming vicious and stuff. So we were always not allowed to go in and get the eggs, but you know, we
That's funny because when I was younger, we used to do that with like goats. My buddies have a lot of goats, and as a child, we was like, let's go fuck with them. And they would go in and then like go on the other side, and they start chasing it, and they just go, let's go, dude. That used to be the fun, like ranch life.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great, and that's it actually took me a while to get my dirt bike and stuff because my dad's brother passed away on a motorcycle, a street
Did they
bike.
have like trust issues with you getting one, or after that?
It wasn't really them. It was just everyone else in the family, like my grandma being upset if I rode a dirt bike, you know, and
Because the
her
potential
son-
chance,
yeah,
like,
because first, yeah,
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course, man.
It's all relativity.
it's all just relatively to them and stuff.
Yeah, it's like if mom sees somebody get in a car accident, like don't drive, like don't go out.
You're not allowed to go out no more and stuff like that.
So that's the crazy part about that is whenever I was, I think like 20 or 21, I was riding street bikes full time. Like I didn't have a car. So like,
You rode the street, but
swear to fucking God, I did.
all around the city.
I had at the time I had a 2006 R6R Raven Edition, and I bought it like I was already on my own by the age of 19, like legitimately, and like I was still in high school. So when I got the bike, I was riding all this shit. Before you know it, I got with I blew that engine up, got another bike, and and it was an 07 Gixxer 1000. ECU was flash and everything, like the most powerful bike I've ever had in my life. And one night, me and my group, because I was in a motorcycle club, and we were basically battling the streets, the highways, and we're going about anywhere between 170 to 192. And just booking it on the fucking highway.
It sounds like Biker Boys movie.
It actually, no, it's you'd be
I love
surprised.
that
No,
movie.
you'd be
you have
surprised.
the leather jacket.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
actually. Yeah, no, we had to be like with that. It was an actual MC, so you have to go to the Banditos out of Texas in order to be known as an actual club out of Texas. That's the statewide Banditos, like the Hells Angels for California, but the Banditos are for Texas. So it was an actual legit club, and we had to pay dues. We did charity runs. We did all this shit. So we went out one night, and we're booking. At this point in time, I think I was going like 185 or so. Like, dude, we were just booking it down, and I slowed down for this one guy. We met up before this moment. We met up at Sonic, and this guy comes up. He messaged me off of Craigslist because that's the way I kind of recruited people, was off of Craigslist. And so he said, "No, I'm not even bullshit."
I know, but it sounds funny.
He sent me his bike. He sent me his riding credentials, and he sent me a picture of himself. And I was like, "All right, cool. Meet us here. We're gonna ride out from here." Shit you not. This guy comes with a half-face helmet. He comes up, no boots, no nothing. Just a fucking
T-shirt.
just exactly like this, and shorts actually, but just like this, and with a backpack and a half-face helmet. He gets there. He says, whenever he says, on my way here, man, he already had like a few beers, and I'm like, and we don't drink. Like that's one big rule. We don't drink before we ride or during we ride. So he gets there and he tells me this story. Me and my buddy Dunk. He tells us the story that on the way here, he was going like 130, and I guess he didn't latch his helmet, like the forefront, because it's a 2-piece, and it just went and just fucking flew off.
Oh.
And he's like, I was gonna go back for it, but I need you guys.
Helmet?
Huh?
The whole highway?
No, the first part. No, it wasn't the visor.
Oh, just the okay.
Yeah, this part. So like you just flip it up and it looks fucking retarded. So
jaw of the helmet.
yeah, exactly. So that part fucking flew off. He says, and I'm like, okay, like how are you feeling though? And he says, no, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Like I'm really excited to be here with you guys. I see we're rolling fucking deep. We had like 45 bikes that night, no joke. And so like that's just how we did it. So he said that he had a few beers, and I told my buddy Dunk, I was like, hey, bro, hey, dude, like this dude, he's a brand new, like he wanted to come out ride with us. Like I didn't, yeah, basically, and I didn't know. I told him what the situation was. No, seriously. I told him I was like, hey, he came out and he had a few beers, and I'm not sure if we should keep an eye on him or even if we should have the responsibility of him riding with us. Obviously, it's him riding under his own authorization, basically.
He's got to be in the tail because he ain't going in the middle or nothing.
Full. So we go on the highway. Literally, not even 5 minutes later, I shit you not, we're on I-20 going west towards Fort Worth. We haven't even gotten out of Arlington, literally, and by this time we're booking like 165. And this is the time that I went from 175 down to 165 to slow down to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I start slowing down even more. Then I see him. He just go, and he goes, whoosh, straight. Swear to fucking God, dude. I saw all this shit happen in front of me.
Did he die?
No.
Come on, get to the
So he goes ahead, he fucking plows into a fucking car. I'm going like 162, 165 somewhere around there. And he goes past me, going like 170, 180 by this point, goes straight into the back of this Ford Taurus, clears a hole under the underpass of this overpass. That's a 6-lane full pass. No, literally, you just see him and he flies over the car and just like catapults and clears. He doesn't touch like until we're probably like 20 feet past the actual overpass, the 6-lane overpass. He finally hits the ground and fucking like a rag doll. And I see this whole thing happen, and his bike is totally fucked up. And so we know that fucking wore off. So we
drunk now.
So we
all that goes blood out of him.
We end up pulling over. My buddy Dunk. He's like, "Is that nigga okay?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. I think he's dead, but I have no idea. Like I saw the whole thing happen, and I didn't have my GoPro on, so I couldn't even review anything. So we ended up turning back around, going to him, and we're like, "Dude, are you okay?" Swear to God, dude, everything was exposed. Everything. His bones, all of it was exposed. Everything was exposed. His shoulder, exposed.
Dude, I want to die at that point.
Dude, his nose, his jaw, nose, and everything exposed.
Oh, yeah,
like everything. And we saw his bite.
Was he still conscious?
No, he was like this. He's like, swear to God, I promise you. So we called it.
That's your fault.
That's not my fucking fault. You.
Game right there.
So he goes ahead and like. So I feel so bad, and at this point in time, like none of us have insurance on our bikes. We don't have motorcycle licenses. Like we're fucking like, we gotta leave. So we call the EMT. We call 911 and say, hey, there's a guy that went down, and we called everybody for him. And I had his number. So, like a next week went by, I didn't ride for 2 weeks, I swear. And because after this, it's like whenever you see somebody wreck over at it's like whenever somebody wrecks up the track or something, you're like, I'm gonna hold off, like I'm gonna take my time real quick, and like it's a weird thing. So whenever somebody wrecks at a motocross track or in freestyle, like
you mean in NASCAR when they have the little fucking
no, like whenever
slows everyone down.
Shit.
Like the higher
take a break,
no, like so at least back in
Texas.
Texas,
traumatic experience.
Yeah, and it's one of those type of things. And so a week later, I went ahead and contacted him and said, hey, is everything okay? Like
oh yeah, I'm ready to go, bro.
He sent me a picture.
It's all solid. There's no man.
He sent me a picture, and his shin was fully exposed. All of this was bandaged up and fully exposed.
He's a mummy.
Basically, and he sent me a picture of his bike, and it was literally split into 3 pieces.
Damn.
And this is a 600cc bike, like the lower part of things, but I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck? So, like, after that, I was like 2 weeks not riding, like I can't at all, and I didn't have a car, so I'm like, that kind of put me
You
in
look
line.
at life again, you're like, fuck, is it worth it?
And then
Is it
2
worth
weeks
going
later, I'm
20
like,
miles per hour?
yeah, like 2 weeks. No,
I
dude,
don't like them. That's why I never got a street bike. I know what happened myself.
dude. 2 weeks later, after the 2 weeks were up, I was like, I actually said that to myself, is this worth it? And I look at my bike and I go for a little spin. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't drink. I don't get intoxicated.
I know what I'm doing. It's everyone else.
Exactly.
And that's what I worry all the time.
I'm not
It's like,
worried
I don't-
about what
like,
I can.
I would love a bike. I would love to do that, but I don't even trust. I don't even trust people around me. I'm
Yeah.
fucking the whole time. I ain't even looking forward when I'm driving.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking
my
behind me.
problem.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my rearview mirrors because like I don't trust people on the behind me, on the side of me. I'm always driving where there's no cars. I always got to go where there's no cars next to me, in front of me, or behind me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just precautious. Like, dude, people are stupid on their phone, eating, not paying attention. Just go like fucking Asians or something. Just here you go.
That's what happens in California in general. And
Yeah.
it happens in Texas as well, but not as often, honest to God.
No, and one thing I hate about these drivers is like in Mexico, it's funny because like, let's say you know how it happens when traffic is like, oh sweet, is going all fast, and then all of a sudden, so being in Mexico,
out there and
a lot of these guys, because they're
awesome.
reckless drivers out there, they're smart. Because let's say like they roll the stops, like they just know how to go. Everything just flows for them. And then when let's say that some traffic jam happens and everybody stops, you know what they do? Emergencies. They all turn their emergencies like, hey, people behind, if you're not paying attention, pay attention now.
That's
I'm
what I
like,
do,
dude, that's
actually.
fucking smart. Why can't
Yeah.
drivers out here do that shit?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
hell
do.
no. They're like, hit a brake. Oh, fuck,
It's
don't
just
hit me, don't hit
California,
me,
man.
don't
The
hit me.
drivers out here are like
No common
they're like
sense.
it's like a foreign
Dude, it's like
language.
walking.
Foreign country is exactly the way it is.
It's like a foreign language. People don't know what the hell they're doing out here.
I don't know how people get licenses.
Dude, there's some old people that I know that should not have a license, but they do. And
There's some young people that have licenses that shouldn't.
Okay, point.
Some old people that should get their licenses back compared to some of the young drivers out there.
People
That's
just
not
take
a
like
joke, though.
like you know how the breathalyzer stuff. People that do that like a test. Like how mad are you or how in a hurry are you? Because people they don't give a shit. However you're feeling, that's how they drive too, dude. Like oh god, people. If you're in a rush, fucking tell people. Just
Yeah.
go. See you later. They're terrible, man.
So,
People are bad.
we'll go for yourself though. Back to you. No, seriously. So, like, so you go from the ostrich farm, and then for
Come
your like professional goals and stuff. What did you want to do, and then what did you end up doing?
in high school too.
Firefighting, I wanted to do.
No
So,
shit.
You look like a
Yeah.
firefighter.
I grew up in I have a few family members that are in firefighting and stuff. So that's just kind of like the
What inspired
benefits
you?
that it gave you. Yeah, and just a lot of other stuff. But dude, firefighting's all medical now. Like 90% of it's medical, and it's picking grandma up off
Really?
the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know the benefits are great, the pay's great, you know, and
What is the
everybody loves firefighters, right? I mean, you can make between like 65, 70,000 up to like 120, 130, depending on
Holy shit.
and not only that, but you get 92% of pay after 20 years at your highest paid position. So if you go to a chief position and get 120 and then drop back down to like a captain, and you're making 100 or whatever, you still get 92% of your 120,000 after your 20
Holy
years.
shit.
That's pretty dope.
For the
That's
rest of
not
your life.
bad.
So you get a job at 25, you retire at 45 with 92% of 100,000 coming in every year.
Shit.
It's not a bad gig.
That's not bad at all.
But-
and you can have
So
side
what
hustles
changed
too.
your career path?
Yeah, what changed? It's not like I mean, I don't know if it's like that in Texas, but
It's not. It's only like in California. Well, some other states do have this. In California, or Texas does have a good retirement plan, but Governor Brown, like years and years ago, set this up, and it's making our bank, like honestly, it's making our state bankrupt over it. It's actually it needs a change, like personally. I mean, it's great for firefighters and firefighter families, and that's why everyone loves it. You know, so once you're locked in, it doesn't matter if they change it; you're still locked into those contracts.
grandfathered in, if you will.
I'm not a big medical person. Like
You don't do
It's not like a
any of that?
passion.
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, going to pick up a little kid in an accident that just split the trunk like that, but having that little kid to that is very different. Yeah, well, seen in person and like just thinking about it is a little different, but actually seeing it in person and the smell of like all like it's different. It's definitely different than going in and.
The smell of iron.
I could deal with all that and stuff. It's not something I wanted to see every day and go through my whole life. Like if I was going to do that, I might as well just become a doctor and make more money.
I'm point taken.
So
for sure, dude.
And firefighters also like there's a lot of house fires that go on, of course, and things like that. But a lot of time they don't really they compress or contain fires.
Mm-hmm.
They don't actually go in and do anything like the movies.
The movies.
Yeah. And again, that's fine. Like until you're actually like going through fire academy and stuff, you don't know that stuff. So like you're going through and you're like, all right,
where's the fire?
We're on the outside. and when there's human life that needs to be going, they do. And the more you go on, I get it all. So there's different, but. Mainly, it was the medical. I just didn't want to be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go pick up grandma and things like that. And that's most of your calls. So
no shit.
Mm-hmm. One of my sister's husband's a firefighter up in Hemet, and he picks up and has Narcans all the time in his trucks and stuff because they have heroin addicts and they drop heroin addicts and stuff. So they drop and they use a Narcan on them to bring them back to life and stuff and.
Wait, is that a?
It's like an adrenaline shot.
Yeah.
No. It's not an EpiPen. It's like
stronger.
It's an adrenaline shot.
That's what an EpiPen is.
But it's not. It's different. It's different. It's diabetes, like bees and
like heart problems and stuff like that.
Yeah, like if you have a allergic reaction and stuff like that, that's what like an EpiPen is for. But like a Narcan is basically like a.
If you're dying on heroin,
it's supposed to be the reverse effect of what heroin does.
Exactly.
Got you. So it just snaps you out of it or something. Like,
shit.
Yeah, but so I mean, I again, pays good, medical's good, all that stuff. You get all the benefits, which is great, and it's all military ranking, So I don't listen to people very well. That's why I run my own business,
You're not a follower, you're a leader.
That was a big problem with me, too.
Yeah,
is that,
I can imagine that shit.
I like to listen to other people's ideas and, thoughts and things like that.
Just don't tell me what to do.
Just don't tell me I need to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning because I'll show up at 8, And that's I just knew that about myself very young. So that was like 19, 20, like right after high school. Because
that's when
all through high school I wanted to be a firefighter and... That was what I was going to be. That was what I was going to be. So after I got an academy, did all that, got my EMT, did all that.
So you actually went through all the testing.
Yeah, I did all that. Yeah. No, I was fully. I went through college for it. Got my
fully committed.
Fully committed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, I was fully committed. I wanted to go into a hazmat school for to work on the airports to do hazmat for firefighting hazmat. It's basically like the like gasoline, if you like gasoline, water is just gonna spray everywhere.
Right.
So like on airports and stuff, they use foam and like weird chemicals and stuff. So firefighting there is even more money. They make like $150 to $250 a year, because it's special firefighting and it's a different type. So that's what I wanted to go towards eventually and stuff. And that's not even none of that's medical. It's all just fire. Yeah,
fire. But, fighting fire.
But to get there, you're probably still looking 10 years, 20 years, just...
Like to pay your dues.
You gotta pay your dues, you know, and I was willing to do that and stuff, but I also grew up in real estate, and I avoided real estate for a long, long time, like, through all that firefighting and stuff. I tried to avoid it and stuff, but...
What was it? Was there a specific reason, or...?
Yeah, more interesting.
I just grew up, like, I grew up into so much, like, my mom used to pick me up every day from school, and she grew, she's been a real estate agent for 20 years or whatever, so I'd go to her office and sit there, and I just hated it, like, and I realized it wasn't the real estate I hated, I just hated being in the environment that they were, and I got my real estate license very young, actually, and I kind of just left it in the background for a little bit, but once I started doing it, it was like a natural calling. And I was very good at it. So I started kind of just playing with it to see how good I can get with it, basically. And after 3 years of helping my dad build a team up with him, basically, because originally it was just my mom. And then my dad stepped away from, it was during the recession, actually. We had a Pulse Atlantics type store, basically. that
0708.
our family was running. And when the economy started getting a little better, I graduated in 2010. My dad got his real estate license and I got mine, and we basically went in as a family team and became team. Well, there was always Team Metcalf because my mom's always been doing it, but we all came in as a family basically.
Gotcha.
My dad, mom, and I.
So is that or is it just you
originally?
Now,
Originally.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you get ahead. So that was originally, yeah. And then so we ran that for about 3 years, and then about 3 years ago, I bought them out, and they started their own franchise. So they started to help you sell franchise, which is just their own real estate brokerage, basically.
Gotcha.
And I kept the Team Metcalf name, and I've been running it ever since then. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Quick gist.
No, that's literally greatness.
Yeah.
Like you literally just like went through the whole like how you got to here, essentially.
Yeah, and a lot of roller coaster rides.
What would you say that your biggest learning experience was? For
Patience.
Yeah.
I think patience is a huge thing for people because I think obviously myself went through 3 different careers and I was fully committed through it all through a few of those.
That's the crazy part too.
I think everybody, always has a mindset. Even at 40, sometimes I've seen people totally change careers.
It's awesome.
A lot of people even go through their job for 20 years and they want to have their own business, their own adventures and stuff. And they've worked that 20 years just to get that started.
Yeah.
And I would say that even if it takes you those 20 years, if you just keep that goal at the end of your mind is probably the best learning.
The mindset is just,
your mind is a crushing thing right there.
Dude.
So.
Yeah, what you desire is what you want. Like some people, it's like they don't know what you want. Like, well, until then, you're not going to get anywhere.
No. And even if you do know what you want, go for it until that changes something else you want. And
see if it clicks with you and then what you like. Yeah.
Basically, I mean, like it's like the saying, you become what you think about.
Of course.
Yeah. Basically, it's exactly that.
I think we talked about this. Like people that don't take steps or action, whether they're mistakes or things that turn out to be good, unless you take that step, you're never gonna know.
Of course,
dude.
You're never gonna learn those
Gretzky,
those mistakes, or if not that mistake, to learn off that mistake to get to where you want it to be.
Yeah, and a lot of these kids, like now in this generation, they don't want to make a mistake.
No.
They don't want to be pointed out or
blamed.
Yeah, or they don't want to. They don't want to take the risk.
They're too soft now.
Yeah, they are, and that's what we actually talked about it today in school. One of my other teachers, it was like, in our generation, when we were younger, how old were you when you could go outside on your own? How old were you?
Oh, probably 12, 13.
Yeah, 12. I mean, probably earlier. How old were you when you were?
I was at 8 when we were allowed to walk around. I said
exactly.
Back in dark
like outside in the front yard, playing baseball and stuff. Like you were a lot younger.
Yeah.
Nowadays, kids are staying inside all day. They're not out.
Video games all day. Twitch.
Well, when I was younger, as long as you get home before dark, you're fine, right?
Twitching.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh no, you can't go out because there's people out there. They can rob you. Stuff like these kids are also they're closed like in the bubble. They're in a little bubble boy.
They're closed.
So like these kids don't want to be out there. They don't want to risk it. They want to get rich and stuff, but don't want to risk their. I'm like, dude.
Well, that's the problem. I think of like, I mean, we're all young, obviously. So, but
wait, how old are you?
I'm only 28.
28. Yeah, 28. That's right.
We're still young.
And hey, I could change my career anytime I want.
I hit my 30s.
We're 22. What are you talking about?
22.
No, I hated the 20s. I'm so happy I'm in my 30s.
What are you talking about?
I'm so happy.
They have pros and cons.
No, okay. So, for me, not at all.
No pros?
Tell me a pro. What is a pro?
You were able to freestyle, right?
Okay.
That's one
Dude,
pro. What are the positives?
I did it.
Oh, I think you timed out, dude.
No, see, like, I did the, what is it? Let's see here.
Are you still there?
Hello.
No, so like I started like I did wakeboarding professionally as well, and that was in my early 20s.
Wakeboarding?
Huh?
Wakeboarding, you said?
Yeah, and I did that professionally too. But then, the reason why I hated my 20s specifically was because I feel like no matter what I thought of, no matter what it was, I would always be seen as a kid still, always. And I fucking hated that because no matter if, let's say,
People didn't take you seriously? Is that what it is?
kind of, yeah. But on top of that, I think that would basically be like the principal thing. Yeah, I think that would be the principal thing. And like, let's say for example, and this will probably like
me, you don't like to be told what to do.
I don't. I'm
military training. It's definitely
100% agree with you. I don't like to be told what to do.
And I think people don't. You don't like people like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and they're like, what? And he was like, dude, I'm being dead serious. Don't laugh at me. He's the guy. I'm not even bullshitting. That is me.
And I'm like, I know you fail. You know you're gonna be accomplishable at the end of it. And you know that.
This was the prime example. Whenever I made my demolition company, that was like a big deal for me because I literally, not even joking, I woke up one day when I was 23 years old. And it was like just before summertime, so it was about like May or June. And I woke up, I smoked a bowl, I laid in bed, looked at the ceiling, and I thought, I can't be doing this like for the rest of my fucking life. And I was like writing freestyle. I can't be doing that. Like, I need to figure out something that is going to make a lot of money and that I can really pass down for generations.
That's good to get out of your 20s right there, though.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dude, I'm barely right now. That's where I'm at.
But see, I thought about this stuff because I had done so many things before all of this. I stuntman, which I still am. Freestyle, wakeboarding.
He's like,
his resume is like out of the charts.
Dude, no, seriously, like did marketing with Jägermeister. I did.
But see, you have the ability of like you want to learn something different. You want to just keep learning, get different abilities.
You got like different
skills.
business every day.
It's like my underwear.
You keep going. You're not stuck in one place.
But see, that's the thing though. Is like whenever I made that demolition company,
you get
right?
Easily.
Huh?
You get bored easily.
Dude, I don't even know if it's just boredom. I don't think it's boredom. What's that?
You're like a goldfish. Like an attention span of like 3 seconds.
Dude,
it's like
sometimes. Okay, yes and no. Because if I'm really interested in it, then I'll be the first one to learn everything about it. But if I'm not, then yes, goldfish syndrome completely. But whenever I made that demolition company, I was in it for the first 1.5 to 2 years was like the growth period. And I went in that span of time. I went from a little yellow duplex house that I had both addresses of. So one address was the actual office of the company. The other one was my living space, and I had about a 55-foot driveway, so I could put my dump trailer in it and my flatbed F350.
Mm-hmm.
Totally fine. So that's what I did. That's what I started with, and I grew from that to a 3.5 acre yard with a 3,500 square foot space. Warehouse with an office and everything, and I was paying $1,000 a month on it. Swear to God.
Nice.
And I grew this thing, but then on top of that, I was like, okay, I want to have something else to like in the off time that I'm not having like too much work. I want to go ahead and create something else. So what's something else? Well, I have a sign in my fucking yard. Well, I can go ahead and create a car dealership. So that's what the fuck I did. And then my friends at the time, I didn't have very many. Actually, correct myself. I didn't have any friends at the time of doing this demolition company because that's all I fucking did. I didn't go out and socialize. I didn't go out and drink. I didn't even fucking smoke. All I did was eat, sleep, fucking work, train, repeat. And that's all I did. So working out, all this shit, and then also writing freestyle at the same time.
Equals success.
Well, all I did was
take notes, kids.
So that's all I did. I didn't play video games. I didn't do anything like that. And then I went ahead and created the car dealership. And then I had a graphics company. Then I had the fuck else did I have? Another fitness deal and one other thing. For some reason, I'm being farting on it. But the fact is that I did all these things, and I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, like, I just go into anything that I want to do that I'm interested in. And my friends that I started making friends now is that because after my business was good and my businesses were like exploding like crazy, I started making friends. And those friends did not, they were like, I'm 24.
Not the same mindset.
Not even fucking close, like 15-year-old mindset. And I'm like a fucking 56-year-old mindset at this point, like when I was 24. And I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I don't even know if I want to even be around you guys at all. So then I went ahead but it didn't rub off.
You hang out with.
But it didn't even rub off on me. my mindset rubbed off on them for the self-reflection on them of what they're not doing.
That's good.
So then what happened is that one of the guys had asked me, what do you do for a living? And I said, dude, and at that time it was so fresh. Yeah, no, at the time I was like, fuck, I don't know what to say. I didn't know how to respond to that because I'm like, I do all these things. And they said, that's impossible. What the fuck? Like, you don't do that. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they said. Bullshit. And I said, I'm not bullshitting. Like, I can prove everything. So that's what I did. Several conversations, it would go down that way, that I would have to prove myself. I have to show them my websites. I have to show them my locations, to show them everything, show them my business, my DBAs, my LLCs, all this shit. And I'm 24, 25, and it's like, how the fuck does this guy that comes from nothing, literally, I'm not even bullshitting, this is for some reason a crazy, wild success number, $7 in my pocket, a quarter tank of gas, in a fucking gas guzzler in 2002 Nissan Xterra. All my clothes are in a goddamn trash bags. I had 3 trash bags filled with clothes, and that was it.
You moved from Texas?
And well, no, I was in Texas, and I was in the DFW area in Grand Prairie at the time. And my mom kicked me out basically for the last time, and she said, "Good luck." $7 in my pocket, legitimately. And then my quarter tank of gas, my paid off car, all this shit. So that actually helped me a bit. But also, it was a gas guzzler. The 2002 Nissan Xterra, it won't get you far. So, and especially on a quarter tank of gas, like, I couldn't really drive too much. So like, I started just like doing everything I could to make money. Everything I could. I didn't give a fuck. And that's where, like, all these people, after like a couple years of doing this shit and creating stuff, it was like people that were younger than me or my age were still trying to figure themselves out. And I don't even have everything figured out. I just know that I wanted to make a shit ton of money doing something that didn't involve making something pretty.
Yeah.
So that's legitimately my mindset. So that's where I was like, okay, well, it's going to do this. And that's whenever I went back to like whenever I was laying up in bed, and I'm like, okay, what can I do that doesn't involve making something pretty, that like you can just demolish something? Okay, demolition. Okay, cool. How the fuck do I get into that? And I literally just started building as I went. And I had basically put in all this money that I had earned. I put it 75 grand into the company. First of all, it was like broken down in the 20s. So it didn't like, I could manage it financially very well. And so I did 20,000, stuff like that. So it was very easy, but then I went through that pretty fucking quick. And especially in a demolition company, you're going to have your slow seasons and you're going to have your great ones. But then I made it to where literally all fucking year long, I was booked with jobs, and it got to where I was doing literally about 2 or 3 houses a day. And I had to have like three excavators, my trucks, all this shit. So like I guess the whole point to this is the fact that like the people that I was friends with, they couldn't even fathom at the fact of what the fuck I'm doing. Like, because they can't do it. So if they can't do it, what makes them think that someone else can do it because they can't do it?
Some people less too.
That's why you need employees.
Yeah.
Most people can't do this.
Yeah, and that's what, like, I never understood it. I definitely get the mentality behind it now, but because like whenever I was younger, I didn't think about it because my mind was just like even how it is now. It's like tunnel vision of success. Like, swear to God, like all I know is make money and fucking go. Like,
well, you can't go back anymore. You had to keep going forward.
It seems like in the 20s, like you're still like I don't know. It seems like when we were growing up, like
he grew up fast.
Your 20s, like you should know already what's going on, or at least that's what my parents made it seem like. You should already have your life set. You're right. You know your career. You're already married. Kids are already popping out. And I am the same way with you in your 20s. It's just like, a lot of the people that in our 20s don't have the same mindsets. Mm-hmm. Like, it's party here, party there, rave here, rave here.
Yeah, seriously.
Which is fine. Like, I'm all right to go out and have fun and enjoy yourself. But, listen, there's another part of life that is greater and better.
Yeah, that's exactly what was told to me one time, too.
I don't feel a lot of people see that.
Because they don't, like, in my mind, it's like this. Most people would rather go out, get fucked up, and be blinded of their false reality, like y'all were talking about when we first started this episode, was that whenever you have these people that just want to play, but know nothing of actually fucking working your ass off. Like, there's some people that have never had a fucking back-breaking job in their goddamn life. And I'm sorry, but in my dude, in my eyes,
fingernails
dude,
still don't count.
dude, seriously, like I literally have baby fucking hands, and I'm like, nigga, like, nah, if you're gonna fucking work, you're gonna fucking like
from the job that happened.
dude, it's a big deal, and that's what not a lot of people really get in my eyes, and especially like even nowadays, like there's people that are fucking like very close to my age that aren't doing shit and that are like more focused on parties than actually making themselves a success, but then wondering why they're not getting further ahead. But because they're watching these inspirational videos and motivational videos, they think, oh, well, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And some of them come to me and say, hey, Damian, how the fuck did you get here? And I'm like, dude, like
YouTube emotional videos every day.
Dude, like, seriously.
They're good. You gotta have them. Once like I watch some inspirational stuff. Like every Tuesday, I have a few people that I like to watch, and like I go through my podcasts and things like that day. Throughout the week, I don't go through anything else because I feel like if you overload yourself with that's all you're gonna try to emulate. You know? And it's like you have to have your own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have your own grasp on things and stuff. And you know, you have those people, your mentors, your heroes, things like that you look up to, and you see what they do as success. But if you just try to copy and emulate what they have, it's not gonna work.
Never.
No.
You're not going to be an Elton John.
Yeah. Or a fucking Tony Robbins. Or fucking Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't know about Grant, dude. No. You said that, I'm like, damn.
Hell no. Fucking Ed Milan.
But see, if you listen to Grant every day, though, some of his stuff gets a little crazy, though, if you listen to him. It's like...
Okay. So first, do you know who Grant Cardone is? Okay. So I figured you did, but I just want to make sure. So the fact is that me and Grant Cardone have had talks before through social media, like legit.
Really?
And like I reached out to him because I wanted to actually look at working with him on his real estate deal, but also because what I do right now, I raise capital for our startup company for the medical device, and so because I know how to raise capital very fucking quickly, like a lot of money, that I can actually do the real estate side of things and actually talk with the investors and have them come on board for a few $1 million per client and flip that money and have that money go into escrow for a real estate property. Then those units get bought or they get rented out, and then all the money that you collect, you go ahead and let's say there's 400 units at let's say $1,000 or $2,500 because they're all fucking different. So then you have 400 times, let's say minimum of $1,000. That's 400,000. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 400,000. Or actually 4 million. 400 times 1,000. 4 million, right?
No, it's 400K.
400 times 1,000? It's 400,000.
Okay, I was thinking for some. Okay, so you'll have that.
You gotta confuse us.
So you'll have all that money coming in, and then you pay it back to the investors because that's in one fucking month. Yeah. So then, with that, like I completely understand the investment side of things, 100%. Then I was wanting to talk with Grant about it.
Take those operating expenses into effect, though.
Yeah, no, for real, like insurance, fucking maintenance, like all this shit, and
now you're down to $80.
Yeah. Investor, I'm sorry, but this is the way it happened. But like that whole thing was a big deal, and like I'm very interested on doing that. But like I spoke with him and gave him a few shout outs on Instagram and everything, and he responded back with like, hey man, thank you very much, like fully appreciate it, you should go to a conference, like I'll hook you up and everything. And I'm like oh shit, well I can't because I'm doing all this shit that I'm doing in my world. Like I wish I could, but I can't. But you know, people like that, and like to your point of him talking crazy as shit, that's really like he is just over the fucking top. Yeah, no, he really is.
Real things right there. And that's saying, no, it's like a truthful, like not just bullshit.
Yeah, seriously. Like he'll do the math on everything. He'll talk to people.
Yeah, I like that about people out there. Like just everything, you know.
They're not fake. They're just like
there's some
true to the like he'll call like
it's all just money making.
He and fucking Ty Lopez and him. Everybody thought that they were gonna fucking fight. Swear to God, everybody thought they were gonna fight.
I'll fuck him up.
I know, but see, like that's the thing is that they're both in the real estate world. Both. They just did things differently in the real estate world. One says that he can make all this fucking money, and the other one shows that he can make himself and everybody else money. And so that's Grant Cardone. he's a fucking crazy fucking like out there dude, fucking raw as shit. That's why I like him a whole
He's a
bunch.
behind the scenes get dirty, get your hands dirty and dirty.
He'll
and
go.
Ty Lopez is the guy that blah blah blah. You can do this.
I'm
You
not
can
a
blah
big
blah
fan of
blah.
Ty Lopez.
I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate him.
I hate him.
I can tell you so.
I think
fake.
it's all just talk.
Then it just became like a fucking reality show kind of something. What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. Buy my book.
Yeah.
Buy my success.
Check out my security guards. Check out my.
The thing I like about Grant, he doesn't care if you make a dime or $1 million.
Yeah,
treats you the same.
He treats you the same.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's how I am, and that's what one of the traits that I love about him is that like I don't care who you are, I'm always going to treat you the same. The only person I'm going to treat differently is my fucking sweetheart. But everybody else, I'm always going to treat you the exact same. You're treated the same way as Chris.
I thought you were.
But see, like, that's the thing is that, like, that's the very big deal that you understand about me and your understanding as well, because have you seen me any different around anybody since you've known me?
No.
I've been the same fucking way, and that's the same way that I'm always going to be with everybody because, you know, I run on you got to give respect to get respect, and you treat others the way you like to be treated. Those are the biggest deals for me personally. So if you're going to bitch me out, I'm going to go ahead and bitch you out as well. Like that's just the way it is. We actually talked about that on one of the last episodes. Like, what happens if we're at a show and somebody says some shit? Then like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna fucking fire back. Like, what the fuck? If you have enough balls to say some shit, accept the fucking repercussions.
Yeah, everybody, because I went to Stephen A. Smith, one of those guys like the sport guys. I don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck this team. Fuck this coach. I don't come at me, motherfuckers. Straight up. Come at me. Okay, talk all that shit. I'll give it back.
Yeah.
I ain't scared of you.
But see, like that's a big deal. Is that like what a lot of people in the 20s are still really trying to, honest to God, figure themselves out. And for me personally, I'm just like, dude, like back to y'all's point, like if you don't have skin in the game to do whatever it is that you wanted to do, scary money don't make money. That's first and foremost. It's just like with gambling.
I heard that one.
Really? Have you ever seen Friday?
Yeah.
Pretty sure they have it in there. Scary money don't make money.
Heard that?
It's one of the black movies. I know that. or drinking juice, or don't be a menace while drinking juice in the South Central.
Maybe that one. Okay, but I've never. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Because when it was in Friday too.
That's cool.
I know. In Friday, it's fucking with my money. It's like fucking with my emotions. Yeah, I know that one.
That one for sure.
Yeah. Big Worm said it.
That one. This one.
My emotions.
No, but that's a big deal, and a lot of people, so many people in the 20s are very, like y'all said, very focused.
Well, I feel like they just want to get money to buy shit. It's like there's no actual purpose. Like a lot of things, like I was hearing a TED Talk coming out because you're a real estate guy. I'm like, I don't know shit about real estate. Right?
What was this?
So, and it was very inspiring. This guy's like, dude, I was in university, didn't know what the fuck to do with my life, and it's like I wanted to make money, I didn't know what. So like he got into like I wanted properties and investment and learning how to and understanding what I really wanted. And he's like, what career do I want? I was like, what if I do get a lot of money? Like what would you do if money wasn't an option? Like if you had a bunch of money, what the fuck would you do? Like you travel and help others. It's like that's exactly what we want to do. Make money, help others. So it was like invest in yourself, because he's like, dude, I just got into real estate. I just fucking went to classes, learned how to fucking do it. Just got that desire, that drive into actually wanting to make money and helping others. And it is like, I'm a normal guy. He's like, anybody can do it. But don't expect the fucking next day making millions. Like, it's impossible. The only way is fucking lottery.
It takes time. It takes patience. It takes work.
And that's like
waking up in the morning.
Thanks waking up in the morning.
Let's talk more doing.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem with it. Like going back to earlier in our conversation, it's just that a lot of people don't have that drive. They don't have those disciplines anymore. I don't say anymore actually, because our grandpas,
but even now the grandpas are trying to figure out. Well, yeah,
you can't compete with the World War II.
I'm fucking waking up at 7 in the morning.
Compared to
those dudes, like even those guys, like they, like that actually goes back to my demolition days as well. Like I would literally have these GCs that were vets and everything that are literally they have their own company, and that's like, and I had to pitch them a bid to do the job. And whenever I show up, they say, "Where's your boss?" And I'm like, I said, "What the fuck are?" I said, "What the fuck are you talking about? I am the boss." And he says, "Are you? Is someone playing a prank on me?" And I said,
"Where's Ashton Kutcher?"
I said, "No, what the fuck?" I'm like, I straight up told him.
Come on, Ashton.
I said, "Sir, look, like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but like, I'm here my company's here to get this job done, and like, what, like, I see the scope of things. Just stay out of my way. Let my guys get to work, and we'll get this thing done, and literally a jiffy." And like a day and a half, we got an entire like 5,000 square foot done, literally in a day and a half. And like it was an interior gut. But I've had a lot of those GCs treat me the same fucking way.
Where's your dad?
Yeah. That shit pissed me the fuck off. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, but that makes you want to work harder.
No. It made me think like, dude, like, who the fuck do you think you are, first of all? And second of all, whenever I got done, I was like, "Where's your daddy? Like, you can't fucking do this." And one of them tried to fucking go ahead and do the work for me. I'm like, "Dude, I need you to get the fuck off this job. Because you hired my company to come in and do this. That's exactly what I'm doing. If you want to work for me, then go ahead and sign a 1099 and go ahead and get to work."
Damn.
But like, no, I swear to God, I don't.
Dude, so mad, bro.
Dude, no. I don't give a shit, dude. Like, business is business, and if you're gonna fucking try to like swear, but like I'm really like that's how much I've been tormented by older dudes in industries in general, is by thinking that I'm just like somebody's son, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't come from mommy and daddy money at all. I'm legitimately self-fucking made. And, like, how dare you go ahead and try to...
for your pride kind of
thing. Yeah. Seriously, it's not an ego thing. It's literally more so of a pride deal. Because...
I work my ass off.
Yeah.
Fucking come in here and tell me who... Man,
yeah, you don't know any... You don't
label me and shit. It's like, who the fuck is this guy think?
Yeah, I think I'm, like, coming off... Like, some kid coming off the streets. Like, if you, like... like, for our viewers, I'll have a picture of, like, what I look like. But... like, because that's it.
No beard?
No beard. No.
This is the first time he's ever let him grow his beard.
Yeah, the first time it started last July.
Baby.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. But like, it's crazy though to me, because you know, I would have thought that there was more people that were willing to get up and get out and start hustling. And I think you and I talked about this. I know you and I have, is that with the cost of living, I actually went on this on my story today. The cost of living here in California is so stupid fucking high, right? Now in Texas, I cannot really say that, but like what I was gonna say, but like you have people that are fucking hustling all the fucking time, and here in California, probably the number one thing I've noticed is that there's not enough hustle.
Way more opportunities out here.
Way more, yeah, you're absolutely right. So many fucking opportunities, but you don't have like people waking up early. Like, let's say, like for me, I'll wake up at 7 a.m., maybe 7:30, and then get my day started. But that's for me coming off of staying up till like 3 or 4 a.m. and I'm getting back into it and fucking going to
off the tweak, okay?
Hell no. But see, like,
it's not good for your health.
It's
not your health guy.
You live in a way where it's like you have no other option.
That's how you became who you are now, by that mentality.
You're like, dude,
correct.
I need to make money. Keep going. Every time I slack off, I'm not making money. I'm losing money.
You're absolutely correct.
Fucking do shit.
But see, that's what blows my fucking mind though, is that whenever you have the people here in California don't fucking hustle their dicks off to get where they want to be, or to get where they want to buy shit.
You definitely hustle your dick off.
I hustle my dick off because, like, the exact points of what you said. Swear to God. Yeah, and like that's what I like to do.
I've never heard that term.
Hustle my ass off.
Hustle my dick off.
I've heard that off. I've heard it before.
But see, like, it just blows my mind, because how can you live in such a high cost state and not hustle so fucking hard as though literally your life depended on it?
But see, like, I came from a family
of... There's a plug.
I came from a family that like ran city life. Like, it was, you wake up early in the morning, go get the cows and milk the motherfuckers, and go out there and then go. Dude, you barely had enough time to sleep and fucking eat.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a grind. My dad, like, hey, you gotta keep working. You wake up. My dad, but the thing about my dad, he don't like to tell me shit. he knows what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I wake up at 6, I hear 6 in the morning and fucking Saturday or something, and I hear, like, ground, like, my dad, like, turn on the fucking lawnmower. I'm like, fuck, I'm late kind of thing, dude. Like, I was like, what the fuck you doing? You sleeping? All right, we'll see how your fucking life becomes. Like, dude, you have to be hustling. Like, even on days off is the most common thing here.
Yeah.
Days off, instead of trying to hustle or becoming better at something or a new skill, learning something different to become better, they just want to take a rest, take breaks.
That's why everyone's at the wineries down there at.
You're not even joking, though.
Dude, I swear more people are down there at the wineries than I see at work more often.
You swear on everything.
What are you doing,
Every post is, oh, I'm at the winery, or oh, I'm at the winery. I'm like,
yeah, and it's like,
you guys work? Like, oh yeah, I got off work an hour ago, and now I'm spending half my paycheck down here at the winery.
Is it the system that how our education became where, like, you did work, then you got a reward in a way?
You're the teacher.
Well, that's what it is now. And is it because of that generation where it's like, okay, do this work, and you get playtime?
Well, everyone thinks they're self-employed now because there's some ambassador from some company for, that they give them product, and now they advertise on their social media.
And that's
You're talking about influencers and ambassadors too?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm talking about. I guess that came out a little wrong, but yeah, like...
No,
like a Yeti. Yeti has ambassadors out there, and they send them free product, and now these people have their own Yeti business.
That's
It's
like
like, what are you talking about?
Instagram model is like, oh, I'll fucking rep your shit, give me money.
Yeah.
So the ambassador, you were correct. This is...
But see, there's a whole... there's, like, a really big entitlement mindset as well with just doing shit in general. Like, for example, you'll have some people that feel like they need to be owed a tremendous amount of money for what they do. And even though what they do can be a $10 an hour job, they feel like it's a $30 an hour job because they're the ones doing it.
Yeah.
And not because someone else is doing it. And it's like, dude, like, when did we get into this mindset of being so entitled that you feel that the value that you bring is more than what you're actually worth? Like, that's it. To me, it blows my fucking mind because in my mindset, for me, I've never ran like that ever. I've never been that way. If I'm getting what the offer is, then cool. I'm not gonna debate with it. I'm not gonna try to negotiate. I would just say, okay, cool, totally fine. But I would never go ahead and say, well, fuck that. Now, because of my experience in life and everything that I've done, I'm like, fuck yeah, like, you're going to pay me what the fuck I'm valued and what value I can bring to your business or even for my own. I'm like, okay, well,
value yourself.
Yeah, like, for example, like DGU PODCAST for our website, doing the fitness, doing the ebook workouts, and doing the custom nutrition, which we got a nutritionist. His tag will be here somewhere. So his name is Diesel
Diesel.
No, his Instagram is Diesel. His name is the Diesel Physique.
Oh, that's
but his name is Daniel Sullivan, and he lives over in St. Thomas.
Yes.
And he is doing custom plans. So you fill out a questionnaire of exactly what you want and what you want. And between the both of you, they're going to be completely different,
of course,
because they're going to be tailored to your bodies, your age, everything is literally there. So, like, that type of thing, we are going to charge a pretty penny for, because the value, then the people that it's coming from is so fucking calculated, and the systems are proven. Like, these are stuff that, like, they go for keto diets, if you're going for gluten diets, if you're going for vegan diets, if you're trying to do a contest prep for bikini or for bodybuilding, men's physique, figure classes, whatever your goal is, that's the type of value that's being brought, and everything's broken down for you. The workouts are broken down for you. You can't get any more calculated than that, and yet you're paying, yes, you're going to probably pay a good penny for it, but at the same time, you know that it's a proven deal, a proven aspect, and that's where, for me, or really for us, I can say, okay, you're going to pay this because that's what type of shit that you're getting is really top notch.
Just like any coach and trainer, like, dude, you follow my steps, you're going to fucking get better and stronger all the time.
But see, like, there's actual...
You have to pay for it because that mindset's...
You gotta know your worth.
Yeah, no, seriously. And a lot of people just feel like their worth is going to be...
Once you lower your fucking... They're just like, oh, come on, hook it up. I'm like, dude, don't do that.
Yeah. It's like one of my old business partners, Sean Smith. He told me that like there was what the fuck was it? Actually, it was with his business. He has an auto business. Custom. Everything is off-road related. So for trucks and Jeeps, he sells everything. Like that's where I buy my tires from. And retail, they're $750. I get it through him for like basically like $400 after taxes, and that's shipped. So that's per tire. Well, I told him, look, I will go ahead and pay an inflated price, like closer to retail, because it's your business, and I respect that, and I just want to see you succeed. And for my legendary bodies, he said the same damn thing because I was trying to give him free merchandise and everything, and but that was whatever. So it was like the same thing is that, for yourself as well in real estate, you're going to get what you're worth of what you're asking because of the work that you're putting in. Same thing for your company as well. Whenever you're clean, like doing this, the parking lots, yeah, you're going to be getting what you're valued at because of the work that you're putting in.
Yeah.
And that's like lots and lots of people are not thinking in that same realm.
It also is how you start. Obviously, you can't just start from nowhere and start asking for people that you have no experience or anything like that. It starts slowly but surely.
It's kind of weird. In real estate, it's the only job that I know of that does that, though.
What?
Where
you have to.
You instantly start making the same amount of money as somebody that's been in the business for like 20 years.
Experience or doing it for 20 years.
Because an average commission is 6%. You charge 3% to the buyer's side, 3% to the seller side. Seller pays for the whole full 6%. So you're a buyer and you have a house for sale and I'm representing you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your seller is going to pay me my commission and your commission. As a buyer, you're not paying me anything. Mm-hmm. I'm representing you, though. Mm-hmm. And you want me on your side to keep you, protected and all that. Don't get into, just, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Which we'll go I can go for days for that. But a brand new agent that got their license yesterday is fighting for a 6% commission, too. Now, will they get it? Obviously, you got to go through, and the seller has to decide to use you. And if you don't have any experience, most likely they're probably not going to use you. Mm-hmm. That seller, it's really, I feel it's the seller's fault for trying using you. They're using their grandson that just got their real estate license, but it's their grandson, so I'm going to give you your 6%, but you're a new real estate agent. You don't know anything then how to sell their home, how to market it, but you're still getting your 6%. And that's just because that's the average normal commission out there. So then people try to lowball it because they're a new agent, and then an experienced agent always most likely has to come in and resell it, and ends up screwing grandma over for a couple months because she can't sell her home.
A new one.
Any home. There's
no. I'm saying like a new real estate guy.
Yeah, a new real estate most of the time.
Gotcha,
yeah, okay. Just because it's not just as easy as just putting the house up on the MLS and for the best. And that's where the experience comes in, though. But even general contractors, if you have a framer and they know framing costs, you could be a brand new contractor that has a framing license or whatever and charge the same amount as a guy down the street that's been in the business for 30 years.
Exactly.
And that could be in several different industries.
Dude, so many. Yeah.
I think and that's where I think that the accessibility to internet and everything has become great, because now you can get more knowledge behind the people, and what's going on.
But see, even with that, is that it kind of goes back to the people the people themselves that are the willingness to teach themselves about things that they didn't know before. They would rather use their phones to do a fucking selfie rather than go ahead and actually do research.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the huge, very, very large disconnect is that someone like yourself, someone like you, someone like me, we're fucking hungry, we're starving for success. And you have somebody that's like, let's say down the fucking street, that doesn't give a fuck, doesn't give a rat's ass about where they're trying to go. And then they go ahead and you do all this shit. You already know everything about the person. And then this other person comes in, just like the same situation. Grandma wants to fucking hire a grandson. Then they go ahead and say, well, do you know anything about this person? They have a house for sale. And, oh, well, do you know anything about this person?
Yeah.
Yeah, they work here. They're this old. They just had their fucking husband die about 3 years ago. They've been trying to collect retirement, blah, blah, blah. They got an IRA situation. Shit like this. And you do a whole background on it. And it's like, you don't know shit. I know all this. And
It's just people asking the right questions and knowing them.
yeah, but that's knowing.
Most
what
people
to
that are
ask.
selling their home, though, have bought and sold homes before because technically you bought the home, so you know a little bit about real estate when you're selling it. So a lot of people know the somewhat the right questions to ask a little bit, though, to get the knowledge out, And I think it goes back to every industry. If you've owned a pool and you're probably putting a pool in, and you know the dynamics a little bit behind it to ask the right questions or whatever. Maybe.
I know how to take a pool out. I don't know how to put one in, though.
I don't know
I can
how to
learn
put
real
one in.
fucking quick. I can learn real fucking quick. For real. So obviously your deal is real estate.
Yeah.
And is that all you do right now?
For the most part, just because I have a few agents that work with me too, and I have a whole business behind that. It's like
Holy shit, how many employees or how many
I
people
have
do you
2 employees that work, and then I have a transaction coordinator that basically runs all the background, all the paper. I hate paperwork, so we're guys. We don't know about that and stuff. In real estate, I have a investment side, so I have investors that we're doing flips on.
Mm-hmm.
Putting manufacturers down, rehab stuff like that. I have a residential side where we're working with home or new buyers, leads that are coming in, cold calling, stuff like that. And then I have a third side where it's like a business side where we're selling businesses, or if not, trying to find businesses for cheap and resell them or stuff like that.
Find businesses like actual
Like law firms,
like law firms, post offices, gas stations.
Like go buy the business or go buy the building?
Buy the whole business. I don't want the land or the commercial or the whole. I can move that business down to the next suite down if I want to, but yeah, the actual business itself.
And you'll just go ahead and take everything that they've already got and implement it, and then just go ahead.
Depending on because inventory, pricing, there's a lot that comes into the business side of things. If the building does get included, because some businesses do own their buildings.
Yeah,
stuff,
and that's why, because you're real estate as well, so that would kind of
and all that comes into play. Because I could sell businesses. You own the DGU podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If it became big enough where you have a value to it, which domains, I'm sure can be sold and stuff.
Yeah.
And if they're big enough, well, we can sell those as businesses and value those. And anything out there, like Chevron down the street, is probably owned by somebody, and they own 3 Chevrons in the area.
Oh yeah, probably Middle Eastern too.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God.
So you can get those and sell them as a whole, and we have to value that. Same thing as a home. We have to basically find the value of what those businesses are. So
that's interesting. So you're
a lot of different avenues you can go.
Yeah, so you're literally not even just real estate. Your business is pretty much
everything real estate.
Everything like the business, like just like you said, like buying and selling businesses. The actual.
I try to keep a dynamics of real estate rather than, and that's the cool thing about real estate is everyone only focuses on
homes.
What would you say
buy a
is
house? You buy a house.
What would you say is your biggest money maker in your business then?
Probably residential. Just that's where the volume is.
Yeah.
It's quicker, more
I would
quicker
imagine.
cash.
I would imagine.
Or the thing about businesses could be on the market for 2 years.
Yeah.
We can have a commercial business
and you'll find more person that needs a home more than a guy that needs a business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and that's why, like Cresta, for example, you have $1 million homes out there that are beautiful and stuff, but they sit up there for a year.
Why?
Because nobody in this area buys $1 million homes. We can barely buy $400,000 homes. So
if I could afford it, I would do it.
I know I would.
I fucking would do it.
But then you have $10,000 in taxes every year to pay.
Dude, fuck.
I'll try to get around it somehow, some way. Chris, how can I get around it?
Don't tell them.
Honestly,
Behind the camera.
The ranch was a lot of work, just growing up there and just dealing with I kind of just want a small cottage, I don't want less maintenance. I could totally be okay with just a small little house and maybe an aluminum garage.
Yeah.
It's not gonna rust or go bad or anything, and I'd be fine. I'd be happy.
What is what was
No
what was yours?
sprinklers, no sprinklers, no dirt, just all dirt.
Mine would be like a close to the city, but like a ranch city, like just like a nice acre,
Yeah,
nice simple house.
I would love that. That would be
That's
okay
all
with
day.
me. I don't like the city too much though. Like
I'm saying a little further in the city, just because I don't want to be away from like.
you're far out here,
Am I?
dude. This is so far.
Where do you live?
Elsinore. I live in Elsinore. I can make it to Temecula
Lake
way
Elsinore?
quicker than it is out here.
Yeah,
I don't think you're far at all.
You're way closer to me. I'm in like Riverside.
Oh no, I'm not far. I'm saying like far, like because you guys are telling me you can make it to Temecula quick. I could probably make it to Temecula and Elsinore probably quicker than I can make it.
Because you straight to the freeway.
Because you gotta do side roads and go to Fringe Valley and then go down.
The reason because to get like from out of the freeway to get here it's far.
It's like 45 minutes from here.
Where?
It took you 45 minutes to get here.
Yeah, from where I
It
live.
took me 55.
Yeah, I'm like Horse Lake Canyon right there.
I don't even
See,
know.
I want to get a house in like that close to Lake Elsinore or close to Corona.
Yeah.
Don't have
Let me
to
know, my man. I got you.
Dude, no,
That's
seriously,
right,
you guys. So, dude, I saw like I legit did look through the list that you sent me. He's got a fuck ton of shit.
And
out
I've
there.
been looking at.
And I don't
I'm getting
even
married
look
soon. But
Oh man, congrats, bro.
thank you, appreciate
Yeah,
it.
congrats.
I'll
Let's
give
just
you
say
that
ring
shit.
marriage.
Don't give me that shit because every day on my team, one of my older cats, the teacher, he's like, "Still getting married?" I'm like, "The fuck, yes." And I'm like, "Can I talk you out of it?" I'm like, "No, motherfucker. What the hell's wrong with you?" He's like, "This is my third marriage." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck about you. That's your fucking problem. Don't
It's
fucking
your
try,
fault.
don't try to fucking break my dream because I have a good girl. Fuck out of here."
Dude, hell no.
Dude,
You
Yeah,
can't
I-
be bringing
I
the
saw-
other people down for your
yeah,
mistakes.
fuck it. I hate people like
Fuck,
that.
did I
Dude.
have-
That's so funny.
Dude, somebody came.
Are you sure?
you sure?
Somebody told me the same shit before I got married, and
I hate when
I
fucking
mean,
people
I'll
tell me.
ask at the wedding. You know, like gotta ask once, right? And just make sure you.
dude. Oh, there was a.
Well,
I asked my best friend. I was like,
Hey, I asked my brother-in-law that I was getting married to my sister. I'm like, "Bro, we got the car here. You serious about this girl? Bro, she crazy as fuck, bro. I live with her all my life, bro. She crazy. I want to do it." He's like, "I already paid for the wedding." I'm like, "Trust me, bro. You save a lot of money, dude. Trust me. That's more money you'll save than fucking marrying my sister. She crazy, bro."
Dude, see, there was a few weekends ago. My love and I went over to. What is it? I forgot the name of the place. But we went over to this place, and it's by 1909, next door to it, and it's like a restaurant bar type of
It's a
thing.
restaurant, like
Don't even trip.
it's a fancy restaurant.
It's not a fancy
Oh,
one.
you fancy.
It's one of them bougie restaurants.
Yeah.
Fuck you! It's not.
I can see you going to bougie.
I would not say it's
Like
that.
they
at
deliver
all.
your water with a little lavender in it.
Dude,
Oh,
this
man, no,
he's
this
that
is-
guy. He's like,
I am that guy, but then but I didn't have that there.
I don't like this water. Can you give me no, ma'am? Water's ugly.
I'm like, sweet tea. And they're like, no sweet tea. I'm like, sweet tea? No sweet tea. I'm like, fuck, okay, simple syrup.
But
no,
see,
we don't have sugar,
you're that
okay.
guy that's like, I'm paying for this shit.
That's
I can't
exactly
get
what the fuck I say.
I don't even care if I'm like mad at the service. I would still not return stuff.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm like, dude.
I'm that
And
one.
sometimes
I'm
it's
like
not even their fucking
complaining
fault.
like
He gets mad at the
fuckers.
fucking waitress, and it's like, dude, it's the fucking cook's fault. Don't fucking blame it on the
We
waitress.
were at the Mission Inn, and my cousins were here from Germany, and they had it was so funny. So my cousin Edmund, he says he got a chicken marsala,
I don't know.
and I think it was chicken marsala, and so he was expecting for there to be spaghetti noodles and chicken.
Pasta.
And and there wasn't. It was literally just chicken and vegetables underneath. And we were both looking at each other, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He says, "No." And I said, "What's going on?" He says, "This isn't what I ordered." I'm like, "What did you order?" He told me, and I said, "That is not what you ordered then." So I told her, I got it. He
I
was
might
like,
return it that way, but probably I still wouldn't.
so like everybody,
It's so good.
so like I
What's the
told,
problem?
so everybody at the table was saying
I
like,
told him at the end it was wrong, but I
Yeah. You're like, I'm like, I'm like, I chose.
I'll take it.
I ordered something different, but I'll still take this. I'm cool with this, you know. But you fucked up.
Edmund,
Yeah, I'll let him know, but I'll eat it.
Edmund was
He
like,
charged me the same.
Yeah, please.
yeah, Edmund was like, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, no, fuck this. We're buying this shit. You're gonna get what you fucking pay for. So yeah, we're gonna fucking tell. So I literally just fucking whistle blew that shit. I was like, look, you guys, like, this is not
He's that
weird.
guy.
I am that guy.
But you kind
I
of
did
wanted
that shit
that
all
guy
day.
on your team.
You had that
right?
one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
You know you wanted it.
It's like that guy you need like in your team. Like you need that one guy that gets everybody pumped up and
Yeah.
everything. You need that one guy. You need somebody to back you up. Like, kind of, like, hey, I got you, bro. If somebody fucking with you, I got you, bro. You need that kind of friend.
You have to have that one.
Yeah.
You have to have that one at the table, man.
Yeah, that one quiet guy, one that's super loud.
Because then
like,
it's honestly, and you get the show. You get to sit back and watch him go at it with her.
Yeah, that's exactly how it actually went down too. Everybody was silent, and I was the only one doing it, and I was like, I was like making.
And
like
I'm like, oh, you're just shaking my head.
Dude, seriously, it was. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
No,
but,
and you went away like I think I calmed you down, like, dude, just be polite about it. And like, look, we didn't expect this, but like, is there a way we can work? And he did it the right way. He said, like, can we work with this? Can you just add some pauses? Like, you know what? Fine, we can do that. You misunderstood what was going on, and we can do that. And right away, they did politeness and did it right away. I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate it. I thought you were gonna be like, nah, this is not what we ordered. You seeing this right here?
This is some bullshit, bro.
That's what I'm expecting, Damian.
You like those veggies? Those are supposed to be pasta.
You want that pasta taste like? Tomato!
You know that's a taste of veggies. That's not pasta, bitch. No,
Here's some broccoli, ho.
Seriously, not even a
That's
fucking joke. Not even a joke. But like that's just a fucking crazy deal, though. So like is there anything, because we're gonna like go ahead and wrap this thing up? So is there anything that you want to add to the viewers here?
I just want to say thank you guys for letting me on the show and inviting me over.
Dude, totally
That's awesome,
welcome.
guys. I think we had a good time.
Totally welcome.
Hopefully,
for sure.
got some good answers and got to learn both you guys and myself. And
Hell yeah, man.
yeah,
It's
I
actually
keep joining on, guys, because these guys are great. Man. Little savage, little.
It's like
we said, a little variety of everything.
the sampler, if you will.
I'm a mixture person, so I like to absorb everything around.
Dude, like this is, but see, like
if I don't like you, I'll tell you, man.
Yeah, I'm
So
straight.
this is how all of the episodes are. Like, even like for our viewers here, like for all you guys, if this is y'all's first time coming in here and viewing this, thank you for viewing. But also, this is all not scripted whatsoever. So
if this was scripted.
That'd be a fucking long ass script.
Damn, son, we should be actors.
Yeah, seriously. But see, but you guys, definitely want to thank you guys for viewing this episode 18. Chris Metcalf, Adrian Martin, Damian Gerry, yours truly. Be sure and check out DGUPodcast.com. Be sure to stay updated with our IG account, DGU Podcast, and stay tuned for more, and we will see you on the next episode.
Stay driven out there.